Hello and welcome to another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks on 𝐾𝐤𝐴 TV. I'm James Preston, and in this episode we're taking a close look at ASX listed Open Learning. Open Learning is a complete software as a service solution for education providers and enterprises to deliver effective online social learning, employee onboarding and workplace training. Adam Brimo is the founder and CEO of Open Learning. He's a respected figure in the education technology industry. In 2012, Adam joined David Collier and world-renowned professor Richard Buckland to launch openlearning.com, a lifelong learning platform which now boasts over 4 million enrolments. And to teach us the finer parts of Open Learning, Adam now joins us. Adam, a very warm welcome to you.
Great to be here. Nice to see you today.
Well, Adam, great to have you here with us. I've given a little bit of an overview of what it is that you do, but for those who haven't heard of Open Learning before, break it down for us.
Sure. Open Learning is one of the leading lifelong learning platforms in Australia and Southeast Asia. And as you mentioned, we have well over 4.8 million enrollments now in the platform from almost 3 million unique users. We work with 184 education providers, enabling them to move their programs online. So that's everything from a short course through to a micro-credential and even online degrees. And the one thing that really makes us different is the quality of the learning experience and the engagement that students have in the platform. So if you've ever done, some online learning before, and maybe it was a video and a quiz and you fell asleep halfway through, well, Open Learning experience. We focus on, project-based learning, collaboration, teamwork, learning by doing. And that's why a lot of universities and other education providers work quite closely with us.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear because, people learn in so many different ways. So to have those different, varieties in your repertoire is really quite interesting. Now, online learning has been something that's gone gangbusters, I would say, in the past few years. It's probably fair to say that with the pandemic, we've seen a further accelerated uptake. How have you experienced with Open Learning? Has your uptake increased during the past 18 months? Are you looking really good at this point?
Yeah, we are. So, what we saw during COVID is an acceleration of what were already long-term trends, but really COVID has been an impetus for a lot of education providers who may have already done some things online, or maybe not, to actually take a new look and say, actually, we can deliver our programs online, and we can achieve the same quality outcomes as we achieve face-to-face. So we've seen a significant growth in the company, both in terms of the number of users on the platform. I think we added well over 1 million users in the past year. We've also seen, a large increase in the number of education providers coming on board. And we've even collaborated very closely with some universities and other organizations to build out some really new and exciting programs over the past year that probably wouldn't have come about if it wasn't for COVID.
Now, one thing we've certainly seen is that HSC students, for example, have really been struggling recently trying to get their learning done, and with schools being severely affected from the pandemic, that's causing a huge interruption to their learning process. I know that Open Learning is primarily focused on tertiary education, but is that a space that you've had a bit of a closer eye on? Have you had any conversations around trying to bridge that gap that people are currently experiencing?
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. So, Open Learning, we see ourselves as lifelong learning, which is really everything from, higher education and beyond. Through to working professionals, school leavers, university. Now, in the primary and secondary space, actually early last year we started working with a not-for-profit named 𝐻𝐻𝐼𝑒𝑠. And 𝐻𝐻𝐼𝑒𝑠 is one of the world leaders in citizenship and social justice education. They started working with us during COVID because previously they ran all their programs face-to-face, in physical workshops at the schools. And they work across hundreds of schools around the world. And they were getting, net promoter score ratings of, well over 60, 70 plus for their programs face-to-face. And when they moved online, they were hoping actually just to get, even a bit less than that, they probably would have been happy. But when they moved on to Open Learning and they, implemented their approach in the Open Learning platform, which is that really social, active learning environment, they actually achieved net promoter score ratings of 70 and 80, sometimes 90 and 100 in their online programs. And now it's become an integral part. So, we work in the high school and school sector, but we work through other education providers. So we're the enabling technology for them to get into those markets.
Well, it certainly sounds like it's working based on those figures you've just listed, but let's get into a few more figures here. Now, Open Learning has recently signed a 5-year platform software as a service agreement with the University of Wollongong. So firstly, congratulations on that. That's a big scalp. Secondly, what does that mean for the company exactly?
Yeah, so there's really two core parts to open learning. We've got in our business, we've got our platform software as a service component, and we have a program delivery side of the business. Now, on the platform software as a service side, we work with 184 education providers, including 10 Australian universities, and we're really thrilled to have the University of Wollongong on board as a partner. And what they're doing is looking at bringing some of their programs to market, targeting working professionals. So they're really entering the lifelong learning space in a big way, and we're really excited to support them in doing that. So for us, that means another university that we're working with, we'll do everything we can to support them in the growth of their courses and programs. And on our side, that means software as a service revenue. And when we work with universities, that's usually on a usage-based arrangement. So they sign up to the platform, and as their usage grows over time, our revenue can grow as well.
Now, that deal with the University of Wollongong, it's not the only development in your pipeline. Could you walk us through your exciting new program under development that's targeting the fast-growing technology upskilling market?
Yeah, definitely. So under our program delivery segment, we've got a number of partnerships. So we started off earlier this year with a program with UNSW designed to bridge the gap for international students who are looking to study at the university. And then we've just announced that we're launching a new program called Computer Science 101, cs101.com. And that's a program that brings together industry experts, so computer scientists and educators. It's driven by my founder and CTO, David Cullion, and our team of learning designers. But we've also got industry experts who've worked at Google and Facebook and Uber, lots of different companies. And they're involved in putting the course content together as well. Then we have leading technology companies who are coming on board as industry partners. And these companies are validating the content, providing feedback on the skills gaps they're seeing. And then we're bringing in the universities and higher education providers into it as well. So CS101 is a micro-credential program with 3 courses. It's focused on providing everything from the core foundational computer science skills. This is, complex problem solving, computational thinking, really understanding how technology is built, how programming works, and how to program, but using programming as a tool for solving problems, rather than just any of these coding courses or boot camps that you can find lots of them online. This is really the core stuff. And that's the first course. The second course is around data science and algorithms, and the third course is around cloud computing and the modern web. And these 3 courses together is really a transformational upskilling program, for anyone, working professionals who want to upskill and move into the computer science, software engineering field, or even say digital marketers, project managers who just want to be, have a greater understanding of what's going on from a technology perspective.
I'll tell you what, Adam, I mean, it's come a long way. When I was a kid, if I wanted to get an extra source of education, it was going into a bookstore and picking up that yellow for dummies book. But now we can get here and we get actual insights from experts in their industry, whether it be from Google or Uber, as you were mentioning. I mean, these are well-credentialed people. It's not just a book that is designed to appeal to someone like me, for example. It's the next level of education. But incredible stuff that you're doing with open learning. What are some of the key factors determining graduate employability at the cusp of the Industry 4.0 in the present day? Because obviously that's a lot of what this is catering towards.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's always been this debate of, whether graduates from any program are being prepared for industry and whether they're learning relevant skills and whether they know the latest technology. I think the key thing for graduates is actually learning how to learn and being adaptable. So having the right foundations, then being able to pick up new technologies and skills very quickly. So for example, my background is initially in software engineering, and I learned a lot of the really core foundational skills at university, but all the frameworks and technologies that are available today did not exist 10 years ago, 12 years ago when I was studying. However, they're based in the same theories and the same structures. And because of what I did previously, I can very easily understand them now and pick them up. So I think those are the kinds of transferable skills that people are looking for and that companies are looking for, because they know if they hire someone, that person might be working for them, hopefully for many years, and they're going to have to learn very quickly during that time.
Well, it's a very good point. When I was going through university, my degree was communications, and as part of that, we're looking at journalism and with the the standard who, what, where, why. But we very much didn't really even touch on social media at the time. It was just coming out. Facebook was a pretty new thing in 2010, and now it's basically a key driver of marketing, and it's something that we've got entire roles for, social media managers. So it's incredible how things do change so quickly, and you're right, you do have to be ready to pivot at a moment's notice. Let's just dive into a little bit about your financials here. Now, Open Learning has reached an ARR of 1.449 million Aussie dollars and a 27% year-on-year growth. So on that note, what are the key components of the company's growth strategy that are now in place that have helped you to cement your position as a leading lifelong learning platform in Australia and also Southeast Asia?
Yeah, definitely. So, our annualized recurring revenue has been growing very quickly, and that's been driven by, a lot of new partners coming on board and existing ones increasing their usage. So the approach we're taking now is really emphasizing our self-service model to attract a lot of the, a much larger number of smaller education providers and even colleges who want to come online and are interested in signing up and doing a lot of things themselves. So we've built a whole ecosystem, support network, automated a lot of our tools so that it's very easy for new education providers to come on board. So that's in the software as a service component. And as you said, there's an ARR of about over 1.4 million. Now, we've also recently added the program delivery segment, which you can see is on a revenue run rate as of the last quarter of actually close to that as well. So, if you look at our run rate from a platform perspective, we're close to 2.8 million based on the second quarter results.
Just incredible numbers. And I mean, this is something that you developed back in 2012 and it's just grown and grown and grown. It's incredible to see, especially being a homegrown product too. So I commend you for that. Adam, just before I let you go, any final thoughts you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, so I'd encourage everyone to check out Open Learning, openlearning.com, and you can browse a selection of courses on the platform. That's actually only about, probably 2% of the courses running on Open Learning. So we've got quite a broad offering. We work with a lot of different organizations. And check out cs101.com as well. And if you're interested in upskilling yourself, maybe even automating part of your day job, you can check out cs101.com and learn those skills.
Well, brilliant. That is Adam Brimo. Adam, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me. All the best.
That's Adam Brimo, the CEO of Open Learning. If you missed any part of that interview, all you have to do is head across to the YouTube channel, 𝐊𝐿𝐴 Media, and you can catch up there along with our extensive catalogue of expert talks. That's it for now, though. I'm James Preston, reminding you to stay apprised and invest wise with 𝐊𝐿𝐴.